Hey everyone, so tonight we are going to make filet mignon with mushroom sauce. I know, fancy, right? And it's not going to be that difficult, guys. So I'm going to take, these are baby Bella mushrooms. We're going to use the whole package of these. I'm just going to cut the stems off. And we're going to use our quick slice. To slice them, because that's the quick and easy way to do it. I have recently started composting also, so rather than rake those off in the trash, I'm going to save those stems to go in there. But that's a whole other story here. One more little mushroom. Alrighty. And I know y'all have seen me use this quick slice lots of times before. I'm just going to take the protective cover off of it. And we're going to sit it up here, sit our little mushrooms on. And we use our rocking motion. And there we have our sliced mushrooms. So I'm just going to go ahead and sit these on this. This is the 9x13 stone pan. I like to use the stoneware for roasting stuff because it retains heat well. Veggies seem to get crisp on there. I just like the way it does well. I could have used the Brilliance Bakeware sheet pan, but I decided not to because I'm also going to do our filet mignon in my cast iron pan. Really all you need is something that can go in the oven, but I think cast iron gives steak a really nice brown sear. So I'm doing it separate from the mushrooms instead of doing it with the mushrooms like the recipe says. So, that is that. Quick and easy. We are going to put about a tablespoon of olive oil. And I'm not even going to measure that because I kind of know about what a tablespoon is. So. We're going to use a teaspoon of our garlic and herb seasoning. The recipe actually calls for a tablespoon, and what we're going to want to do is divide. It says divided, so I'm just using the teaspoon, that way I can divide that out. Did it have extra salt and pepper? No. Okay, I have my oven preheated at 400, so we're just going to sort of move these around. I guess I could have used that spatula there that I had used for something else, but that's all right. I'm not afraid of getting a little messy. That's part of the fun of it. Okay, these are going to go in the oven for 10 minutes. Now, while that's going, we are going to get our steaks here. I have a package here that's got 4 of them. There's only 3 of us, but I don't really see sticking just one back later. So I'm going to go ahead and do all of them. And at this point, let's see, let me turn the stovetop on. It says 1/4 teaspoon of salt and pepper. extra pepper on that guy. And this is where we're going to use another teaspoon of our garlic and herb rub. Now this is our 10-inch cast iron skillet. And I think he'll be a big enough guy for this. I'm gonna let that heat up just a little bit more before I do that. So let's just bring the camera over here, and I'm gonna go ahead and chop up my shallot. Shallot's the little, looks like a miniature red onion, but he's kind of oblong in shape, and he's milder than an onion. Almost has a little bit of a garlic taste to him, kind of like an in between the two. I'm just gonna peel this. Probably didn't need to peel that top layer, but that'll be okay. And it says to finely dice it. Well, I said this was going to be quick and easy, right? So, we're going to use our food chopper. And you can use the food chopper either in this or outside of this. I think since I have kind of some of the shell from the mushrooms and stuff on this, I'm going to go ahead and just cut this into a few smaller pieces and pop it in the chopper and cut it up really fine. Now, one of the big advantages, I use my chopper for a lot of things. I'll use it if I'm making potato salad. I don't like big chunks of egg in my potato salad. So this will chop it really fine. My husband and daughter are not fond of onion, but I can use the food chopper and chop it really fine, and it doesn't bother them as long as they don't have super big pieces of onion in things. I use this, I'll chop up ham. I made an omelet this morning and took some ham that I had and chopped it up. But another plus is, normally I would say you wouldn't get your hands in it and it wouldn't make you cry. I don't have a big issue with that anyway, but I'm wanting to make sure there aren't any big pieces underneath that didn't get, and there was. Two more big pieces. And as you push this down, those blades turn, and that's how it chops in different places constantly. Then you can just rake your garlic, onion, shallot, whatever this is, off the side. This is a shallot. And so we don't waste anything. Food chopper is, I've used it so much it's coming apart. We can rake that in, and there we've got that ready to go. Get my recipe back up here. Okay, it went away from me. See if this is hot. Yes, this is hot. It's steaming hot. Hold on just 1 second. I hate when the iPad goes dark on me and everything goes away. Maybe I should have just screenshotted it so it wouldn't do that. Here we go. And in fact, I will do that. There we go. Okay, so we are going to put our fillets down. Now the thing about meat is you don't want to move it after you put it in the pan. That's what tears it up whenever if you try to move it too much while it's trying to get that caramelized sear. So we're just going to leave this be for a minute. And we're actually making pretty good time. I didn't set a timer for those onions, but I think by the time I get this done, it'll be time to pull. Well, we're going to pull them out and put them back in again, so I'm just going to leave them be. I might pull them out and stir them around. So we're going to give this just a couple of minutes. And I'll grab my tongs here. Choose our spatula tongs. How you know that this has got that nice sear on it, if you go to pick this up and it's still stuck, like this is here, it's not done yet. Leave it be. So, I'm going to go ahead and measure our first liquid that's going to go in the sauce, which is, let me just pull this over here. Pour the wine and the broth in the pan. Okay, so we're going to do a cup of beef broth and a cup of red wine. So I have my small plastic batter bowl. I'm just going to go ahead and pour. I thought maybe you put the red wine in to scrape the bits and then do the broth, but it's going to have us do both at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and measure that out. And if you're not a red wine drinker, you could always maybe put just a tad of balsamic vinegar or red wine vinegar, or just double up the beef broth. It'll be fine. I like to use it a lot of times when I'm cooking because it puts that little tang in the background of stuff. Let's see if this is ready to release now. Did you see as I tried to just slide this one over here? He's stuck. He's got to cook. If I had forced it to move, it would have tore the meat. So we're going to leave that and let that go. And actually, you know, if there's room on the stoneware pan, I may go ahead and move those over, because that way, this pan's already hot. I can make our sauce in it. Although I do really like the way it does with the cast iron. Give that a few more minutes. Not yet. So our new spring products have come out, and I know I'm not really using those tonight, but we will use those as we go along further through the week. I have the new mince and roll. I have the decorative food cutter, the bottle opener. I have the 3-quart pot, stainless steel nonstick pot. And the guacamole saver that we can work with. Let's see where this is at now. Maybe just another minute. I'm going to go ahead and check on those mushrooms, see how they're doing. I'm just going to grab some pot holders. Oh yeah, those look nice. Let me leave these over here just in case. I'm just going to slide our mushrooms here over to the side and stir them up a bit. You see, they put off their own juice a little bit too, and then there's a little bit of that olive oil also. Let's see if our steaks are ready to come up now. Oh yeah. So the recipe says to put them back in until they're cooked through. So I guess I'm gonna cut this down a little bit. I guess it depends kind of on how you like your steaks in the middle, if you like them a little rare or not. We don't mind them being a little pink. I'm gonna look at this big guy right here. You can see he's still got a lot of red in him actually. So I'm gonna look at that in about 5 minutes and see how it is, just because we like it still red. If you want it more well done, you may want to go a little longer than that. And it's suggested to serve this with some polenta or mashed potatoes. I've got some potatoes in here baking. We'll go ahead and pull our shallots up here. Let's see. We're actually going to I have a tablespoon of butter already measured out there. Here's my paper towel. I'm going to go ahead and put our beef broth and our red wine in here. Whew. I had that thing screaming hot. So let me go ahead and explain that this one burner on my stove is actually set to cook quicker or come up to temperature a lot quicker than the other ones. And for that reason, a lot of times where something may say medium heat or this, that, or the other, I don't need to do that. So next time I will keep it down to low, because it just doesn't take it long to get hot. And I'm just sort of rubbing my spatula around to see if there are any bits of meat, any of those little brown bits. Probably shouldn't do that too much, because I'm going to put our shallot in. And I maybe should have done that with the butter, but I think it'll be okay, because it'll cook for just a bit before I add the mushrooms back into it. So this is coming to a boil, and what we really want to do here is just let this cook until it cooks down a little bit. Because I mean, if you were to serve this now, it would taste a lot like red wine. We want this to cook down and get thicker, and get a little bit more syrupy maybe. And then we're going to add our heavy whipping cream, which was, let's see how much we need of that. A fourth a cup. I have that, well, no we don't. I'm going to use my small measure-all cup here. And we're going to go ahead and measure out a fourth cup. And this thing is a full cup if you fill it to the top. So we're not going to do that. Now, like I said, if you don't use cast iron very much, you don't have to use cast iron for this. You could just use a good skillet that retains heat well. I almost use the Brilliance, but like I said, I just think it gets a nicer crust using this. That's going to need a little bit longer to simmer. So I'm going to check in on our mushrooms and our steak. This guy may be a little red still. That one's probably pretty good. He's a little thinner. I don't think that one's too bad. This one over here is a little bit thicker. Pop him in for just a couple more minutes. The mushrooms are pretty well already done. I just remembered I did not put our teaspoon of garlic and herb rub in here. Salt and a little more pepper. Kind of want the flavors of this to mimic that of the steak. So they would be exactly like that of the steak. This has come down a little bit. I would still like to see it reduce a little more before adding the heavy cream in. But since I haven't really used anything new during this video, I will show you the bottle opener. This thing is super cool, guys, while we're letting that reduce. So this is a 5-in-1 tool. And you can use this side, I don't know if you can see how it's rigid, to open bottles like water bottles, 2-liter bottles, whatever. This side right here would work as a, like if you had the glass bottle drinks, the Cheerwines, Coke, whatever you drink, Pepsi, you could pop the sides of it. This side right here works if you're a canner and you have those round rings on jars that you need to pop off. You can get up under it and pop it off. Or I think there was something else it said. Anyway, that one's good if you need to just get up under something and try to pop it off. And then this one right here, it has the hole in the inside of it. If you have a canned drink, honey, will you hand me a canned drink out of the fridge? Thank you. So we can stick this up in this tab and turn this over, and you've opened your drink. So this only runs, I think, about 10 bucks. Nice little gadget to have if you want to just have it on the go. I still like our jar opener. It opens all sizes of jars too, but this one's really neat just specifically for small things. So. I like that one would fit in my purse if I wanted to take it with me somewhere. This is reducing a little bit. I wouldn't mind reducing it a little more, but for the sake of the video, I'm just going to go ahead and add the heavy cream. And we're going to drop this all the way down to low. I'm going to get our steaks and our mushrooms out. Oh yeah, I can still see he may have a little pink in there, but for what our family likes, that's just fine. If you don't like it that way, you would want to cook it a little more so you don't see any pink on the sides. We're just going to throw our mushrooms into this. Because they're essentially done. And you could put your steaks back down in there. I'm just going to wait and we're going to serve that over the steak. Okay guys, here we are, fillets with mushroom gravy. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.